welcome to this course module on building your first AI agent using the Lyzr Agent Studio. So the Lyzr Agent Studio is a no-code builder platform where you can build your own agentic AI systems without any programming experience. We will take you through a step-by-step approach to go from having no experience in LLMs, AI, or coding and create a AI agent which you can use for your daily use. So after coming to this studio.lyzr.ai, if you navigate to the agents page, you would probably not have any agents created yet. So let's create one. Once you click create new, you will be in this page and it will give you a brief idea on the steps required to create your own agent. And I will be taking you through this process step by step to be able to create a simple agent which can be helpful for your daily needs. So as you can see, first we have the simple layers of creating an agent. The first layer is just to choose an LLM and define its role. So let us give me a name. I will give it the name of test and description of also test just to test this out. And now if we click on LLM provider, we see that there are three providers which Lyzr Agent Studio supports: OpenAI, and Anthropic, and Google. So if I click on OpenAI, I see that the models are GPT-4o and 4o mini. So you might probably know that OpenAI is the leading frontier model of general purpose language tasks, day-to-day tasks, which do not require highly specific knowledge or domain requirements. So in that case, OpenAI is the best. And 4o is for highly reasoning and creative tasks. 4o mini is better for latency and long rewinded tasks, where it can generate long, complicated tasks without much time. You can also use Anthropic. Anthropic provides the Claude models, either Sonnet or Haiku is supported. And in a similar way, Sonnet is for more cognitive reasoning, and Haiku is for lower latency. And now we have Google, which provides the Gemini models. So using Google Gemini, we also have Google Gemini 2.0 Flash, 1.5 Flash, and 1.5 Pro. Pro is similar to the 4o models, where it is better for high throughput tasks, and Flash models are better for lower latency. So now if I just select the simplest one, will be just to select 4o mini. And now if I click create, it takes a second, and then immediately I can just give a simple hi. And within barely a second, you can see that the agent is actually working. Now that we have seen that GPT-4 mini works, we can also change it to a different model like GPT-4o and test it out. Like as you can see, we can play around with a lot of the other models, clicking update each time. And each have their own latencies and own method of answering. Especially Google, using its latest 1.5 Flash and or 2.0 Flash, you can actually get really fast responses. As you can see, less than a second, even slightly faster than GPT-4o. So as we can see, different models and different providers have their pros and cons. But as a general rule of thumb, if you have a simplistic need, 4o or 4o mini will do the trick. So let us go back to 4o mini and continue from here. I can click on this button to clear the chat to start afresh. Now let us add one more layer of complexity. What if I want to add an agent role? Let's say I want to create a customer support assistant. I can just type this out, and as you can see, this button called improve shows up over here. Now if I click on this improve, it will take a few seconds and then transfer this simplistic prompt into a well-defined prompt using industry-leading engineering techniques. Now if I expand this, as you can see, this has converted. I did not even put any agent instructions, and it added the step-by-step guideline on how the agent should respond to a user's query. Now if I click update and ask something like, hi, I have a problem. Let's see how it responds. Could you please tell me more about the problem you're experiencing? Now I'll say, what can you help me with? As you can see, it can answer in a very comprehensive way, just like a real customer support assistant would. And because I haven't given it any background information on what you are as assistant of, what the agent is supposed to answer, what is domain knowledge, it is acting in a very generic way. Now we can take it one step further. Suppose we want to add further features to this agent. Let's say we want to enable short term memory, which basically gives the agent an idea of how it should respond based on the last 10 to 100 inferences. Okay, so let me enable this and update this. And instead of it being just a customer support assistant, let me rename this to say customer support for phone repairs. And if I click improve again, it will update the instructions. Yes, as you can see, it is giving it clear instructions on how it should provide solutions to the user. Now let me click update again and clear this chat. Now if I say hi, I have an issue. As you can see, it's asking me for the issue. It's regarding my iPhone. As you can see, I made a typo here and it can actually understand that it is an iPhone because that is the power of large language models. As you can see, it remembered the last message I sent because of short-term memory, and it can ask us contextual questions. I can say the screen is not turning on, and it will remember that I'm talking about the same iPhone, as you can see. And now it is giving me point by point solutions as mentioned over here. Search for relevant information, communicate clearly, follow up, and then document the interaction resolution. And as you can see, it is asking me for actually quite realistic solutions on how I might be able to debug this issue of my phone screen not turning on. And now we have other features as well. So knowledge base, as you can see, if you hover over any of these tooltips, it gives you a very comprehensive information about what each feature does. So we have these four core features which give cognitive abilities to this agent. The first is knowledge base. It enables the agent to access a custom knowledge base for responses. I will show you after a while how to add custom knowledge base for your domain or documentations specific to your particular organization. And then I have short-term memory, which I just showed you. Long-term memory is if you want to converse with the agent for a really long time, for example, days, if not weeks. And we use special retrieval and summarization strategies, which is built by our team at Lyzr, to condense the information over long periods of time and keep it relevant for the agent. Then we have humanizer, which adds human-like responses to the agent. So imagine you are building something like a blog generation, tweet generation, Facebook post generation, LinkedIn post generation. You may want to enable this because it converts the response to sounding like an AI to sound more like how a human would. Then we have the responsible AI features. The responsible AI features enable the AI to operate under certain contextual groundedness, which enables it to not go beyond its restrictions and stick to the prompts given. So as you can see, currently we have reflection, which is enabled. And now if I click update, whatever definitions I give here, instructions I give here, it will follow it strictly. Like imagine your organization has some specific terminologies which you want to follow, specific guidelines which you wanted to follow. This reflection will have a secondary pass to the output of this agent to make sure it is following the prompt exactly and it is not missing. And groundedness and context relevance are coming soon features, but you can see from the tooltips that it what it can do. Next, we have the safe AI features. Currently, we have fairness and bias and toxicity check enabled. And over here, fairness and bias monitors and reduces potential biases in the responses, and toxicity checks monitors and prevents toxic or harmful content. This might be especially useful for using LLMs which are not industry leading, like maybe some of the lower Google models, maybe the Meta models like Llama or the Microsoft 5 models, which do not have these checks and balances inbuilt. And also, we have human in loop and PII redaction coming soon. Now, let me show you another feature of our agents. If you come to this knowledge base page, you can add a custom domain knowledge to your agent. Now let me give it a name as well. I can call it test again. I will give it a vector store of the VV8 Lyzr because we provide one managed VV8 instance for you, and give an LLM embedding model of just text embedding small and create it. Now, if I click on this, I get an option here to upload documents. So obviously I can upload a proper PDF, docx or txt document for many files, also website URL. But for now, let us just try it out, that see if it's working or not. If I want to give some just raw string text, I can just say, I am recording for a Lyzr Academy video and click upload. It takes a second. I can close this dialog, and after a second it will show up over here. Now I can come over here and just say video and then click retrieve. It will perform a semantic search of whatever I'm doing, and you can see it's a 38% match of this sentence. So if I had a long list of documents, I can query through multiple pages, multiple PDFs, texts, and even websites to find out the exact percentage match. And if you remember, we use text embedding small for this particular knowledge base. So the accuracy is kind of low compared to what it would have been if I use a larger model. But obviously, larger model sometimes takes longer to process, and also it might increase the overall credit costs. Now, if I go back to the agent, which we just created, and enable knowledge base, over here I see that the test knowledge base, which I just created, is visible. Now, if I click save, let me remove the other ones for now. So just for this particular use case, let me remove the agent role and instructions. Click update. And now I can ask, what am I doing? And as you can see, it takes a second longer, but it says you are recording for a Lyzr Academy video. And as you can see, there is no role instructions given. I had never mentioned it in the prompt, so it has taken it from this test knowledge base. Now I can go back to the knowledge base page and add more information. Like what I'm saying, I am sitting in my room. Click upload again. It has been added. Now go back to agents. It is already enabled. Now if I ask, where am I sitting? You are sitting in your room. So it contextually remembers the actual meaning of the words present in the knowledge base and does not just regurgitate the same information. It changes it based on the question asked by the user. What if I want to ask the agent about trending news topics or information which it would not know based on the trained knowledge of the LLMs? Because most LLMs are probably trained up to 2023 or early 2024. So if I ask something about an event, such as who won the 2024 US elections, it will not be able to answer in the accurate way. It will either hallucinate or it will give a generic answer. Like as you can see, this GPT-4o mini has been trained up until October 2023. So it won't know. So now to overcome this, we can add what we call tools. Now, for example, one tool we can add is in this tool section, I can add Perplexity AI tool, which allows me to connect to the internet and search about the latest internet trends. Now, if I go back to this agent and select Perplexity and say, search the internet and click update. Now, if I ask it the same question, it takes a bit longer because now it is searching the internet. But as you can see, it gave the correct answer with proper results and metrics, which means that it is not hallucinating, actually searching the internet and giving it the latest ideas. And if I go back to the tools, there are many tools available from GitHub to Calendly, from YouTube to Outlook, to be able to connect and integrate with different third party utilities and improve your agent's capabilities even more without needing to use the pre trained knowledge or even the knowledge base of your agent.